All right. Hello, hello, hello. My brain is not at 100% today. I am hoping that a little bit of Jade Room is going to help fix that. But we'll see. We will have to see. Also, probably only going to have time for like 2 games before dinner. So, but it's something. I was hoping to start a little bit earlier, but then just ran into some technical difficulties. My camera and OBS was just constantly fucking up. Anytime that I would try to do anything, it would just reset its position. And when I say it would reset its position, I mean either it would be like super huge and take up the entire screen, or it would be super, super small and anything I did would change that. I don't know why, but managed to somehow fix it. So let's see. That's interesting. I kind of like dropping this one here. These 8s are likely going to be my pair, so I don't really need to worry about that one. I'm not expecting to draw the 4th 8 or another 1 pin. And this can just, make the shape a little bit stronger. This way, if I draw 2, I can go 1, 2, 3, and then have a nice 5, 7, 9 shape left over. And these 5s, of course, could also be a pair, but chances are I'm going to get something else around there. Do I fuck with that? You know what? Here's the thing. There's nothing. My brain is static. But I'm feeling like the 8's the right choice here. I want to drop it a little bit early because this player hadn't dropped. Well, never mind, they did on the 1-mon. I'm stupid. I was going to say they hadn't dropped a mon tile. I just entirely discarded the 1-mon. Like I said, brain is not at 100% right now. It is not really fantastic, huh? I'll drop this because this 3 works with these 5s as well. Whereas here it's just strictly a 1 and 3 shape. No. Should absolutely turn off calls. I'm not really gonna be able to call here. Alright, well that's helpful, but the problem is what do I drop? I'm just dropping this 1-3 shape. It's the worst one that I have. I'm more likely to find something around these 5s. And 2 2s were already out as well. Speaking of something around the 5s. Okay. I'm glad I dropped those ones. Don't like the Ricci though. I would like you to take that back, if at all possible. Though I can do it as well. And I will. So I'm waiting on a 4-pin or 7-pin. There's only one 4-pin left, because one's out here, another here, and 2 7s remain somewhere. It might be hard for this player to drop one because they seem like they might be going for Honeytoo. They haven't dropped a single pin tile before they called Reach. And they have called on a group of them. So they definitely at least have a lot of them, if not going Honeytoo. Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be hard for my opponents to drop it. But if I can draw it myself, which is much more likely, I do have the chance here of getting an extra Uradora. I would be looking forward to that. Oh, that's a shame. Again, I assumed you were probably going to be going for pin tiles, so it's not too much of a surprise, but a little unfortunate. That's fine, though. I got a lot of groups here, but they're all kind of bad. That helps a lot. Like, the 2, 4, 6, 8 was probably the best set of groups that I had. And these 6s are also pretty nice, because, again, I could get something else around there. I'm going to drop this 1 and 2. I think that's just better than dropping this 1 and 3 or this pair of 9s. 3 pairs. It's not really fantastic when it's not... I wouldn't look at this and immediately think to go Chitoy. We'll see, of course, how this ends up folding, or how this ends up turning out. 8. That works with those 6s a little bit. I could drop the 1 and 3. I could drop a pair of 9s. I think... I just really don't believe in the Honitsu here. I'm just dropping these 9s. I got pairs elsewhere. It's going to be hard to get a full group of those. That's not bad. Drop this 2 now. Like, yes, I could have had like a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shape, something like that. Nice 3-sided group, but, you know, waiting on just a single tile like that kind of sucks at this point. And a 7 does pretty similarly. I'd have to drop one of these 8s, but, you know, I'd look at these 1s and I would be like, okay, well, those would be my pair probably then. I will go ahead and turn off calls, though. I'm not going to need those. And my opponents here, I'm seeing almost no pin tiles from the Toyman or the Shimocha. I'm going to go ahead and drop that 6, because this is now much more likely to be a Ryeonmen shape. If I can pick up a 2-so, I'd be very, very happy. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to maximize the shot at Pinfu, and if not that, then at least be able to go for Tanyao, which means I can turn on calls as well. That way if a 4-so comes out from this player again, which it would be the last 4-so in the wall, so unlikely, but if it comes up, I could call... If I would be safe, I don't really entirely believe in the 4-so. I did already drop a 1-so, though. I'm just going to drop the 1 again. I don't think they're going... I didn't think so, but... I figured if I wanted to push the hand, then it would be much more likely to work out if I drop the 1 instead of the 5. It was unfortunate dealing into the Ippatsu. But it's only East 2. I got plenty of time to catch back up. Definitely just west here. Probably this 1 is going to go. East and green are likely to go as well, but we'll have to wait on those. Here, I'd rather keep the 1 that's already been dropped, because it could end up as a safety. Which means that I would likely drop... No, let's just drop south first. I do see... It's not going to happen. I see a very, 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 especially now, it's not going to happen. Very unlikely shot at Sanshoku with the 1, 2, 3. You know, I had a 1 there, a 2 here that could have been something, and then this here, but didn't actually expect that to work out, which is why I dropped that. Hi, Moki! How are you? Let's see, I would expect this to probably end up as Pinfu. If I can pick up a 6-so. You're so right, Mahjong. 357, that's not bad at all. I kind of like cutting this. I'm more likely to get a pair elsewhere, I think. This lets me be able to benefit from a 4 or much more, well, you know, what I would really much prefer is just drawing a 2, being able to keep this 1 pin. I say I much prefer that, but actually maybe I don't necessarily, because this could be Tanyao. If I do want to drop that, I would just need a 6 pin for the 7 and 8 group. I have to watch out here for their possible Honitsu. I like keeping that more as a safety. So I'm gonna try to hope that these 4s are going to end up as my pair. So I have 1 4 out for the So tiles. That's not bad. No 6s. 2 and 4. No 2 pin and 1 4 pin are out. Or 2 4 pins now, actually. So I got pretty good chances to complete these. Hesitated on that for just a second because I didn't see any in the discards, but it didn't feel dangerous. It felt most dangerous over here, but not really. $15 tiles left. Probably not hitting Tenpai here. 5, 7. Yeah, probably not hitting Tenpai here. I think this has unfortunately got to just be a fold. So no 3 pin safe to my right at least. Go ahead and drop another one of those. I didn't expect the Toyman to call it. Alright. I was a little bit more worried on the 9, so that's why I was dropping that. This hand's not bad. Could be Toy Toy, could be Tanyao. Again, that's not bad. I don't believe in the Toy Toy, so I'm almost definitely going to be dropping this, I think. And the 1 pin, probably. I'm going to go ahead and start here, leave this, because it's probably going to end up safer later. 8, 9, yeah, okay. At this point, I'll just worry about focusing on what I got. I don't need to worry about making other groups, so that 6 can go. Now I should, if I was smart, have turned that on earlier. Because I'm not going to be calling tiles with this hand. That doesn't do a thing for me. Unfortunately, this hand looks like it's just going to be Ricci only. The best that I can hope for at this point would be also having why is the name just not coming to me? Why is it not coming to me? 3 concealed triplets. Sananko. Alright, there we go. That is Tenpai. Again, it's Ricci only. I gotta hope for some Uradora, but I don't really see much other option for this hand. So we are taking it. Who wants to drop this for me? Luckily, both of these players would be very willing to drop a 9 for me, I would think. Both just, like, as long as they try to push. Mostly, I would say this player, well, actually, no, because this player's dealer, they're going to want to push more. I was thinking because they're in the lead, they wouldn't want to push as much, but dealer, they want to keep that going as long as possible, I'm sure. I did drop a 7 early, so that could tell them that I might not be going for late so tiles. They know the 3 is safe, so they could look at that as half Suji if they want to drop to 6. Not that half Suji means, like, fuck all, but sometimes that's all you got. So please drop my winning tile in the next 9 tiles. You know you want to. I was hoping I could have drawn it myself right there. Oh well. Ugh. Unfortunate, but you know what? You know what? That's worth more than my hand was worth. I'm taking it. I'm happy with that. I said unfortunate before I realized none of those 3 were in Tenpai. Huh. Interesting. This one I could see the Chitoi potential. Is it actually going to be Chitoi? Huh. If a 3-pin comes up, I think I would gladly take it. Because I would I'm not going to call that, though. I would expect the 4th one of those to probably show up. A 3-pin would be much harder for my opponent to discard, so if they drop one of those early, I would gladly take it and try to pivot this toward Toi Toi. Also, the longer I hesitate on tiles like these, the more I'm telling my opponents that I have tiles around them, so not fantastic, but they can definitely look at my discards and think that I'm going for a Honitsu, possibly. Unless they think that I'm going for something very scary, like a Kokoshi. Okay. When you're 1 on hand. Sure. Sure, buddy. Ugh. These starts are not fantastic. Like, the last hand had some potential. It did. It's just... It would have been hard to have made those tiles really work for me too easily without getting very lucky. I'm gonna believe a little bit more in trying to get one of my Yakuhai. 3 pairs, it's gonna be hard to work with unless I can call tiles, which would make that a lot easier, is if I just get one of these. Unfortunately, that doesn't really help. I could drop this, but then if I pick up a 7, I'd be it would be unfortunate. But at the same time, I got three pair groups that are going to be real rough to work with. I think I just dropped that 8. No. Another Yakuhai. Another Yakuhai. I'm just burning through my time today. It's gonna help that. I think at this point the best thing I can draw outside of a Yakuhai would be a 1-pin or 1-mon, especially now that I have that. Well, I am dealer. And I would have loved to have seen a little bit better of a hand. Yeah, I'm dropping these. I normally like keeping the 1-5-9 group just because you could pick up a 7, you could pick up a 3, and that would suddenly change it to a 2-sided group rather than, you know, 2 completely unrelated tiles, but I just got too much else here. Hi, Herbifloral. Hope you're doing well. I'm getting some not great hands, and my brain is already not doing fantastic either, so this has been not so well so far. But this is just the start of the South round. You're right, they do call you that. I call you that. Okay, well that's a little scary. I would expect a Pintile Honitsu, though it doesn't have to be. They are in the lead, so it could just be those, and they could have a sneaky little wait on a Mon or So tile. If I could pick up a 3-so or a 7-so, I'd be very, very, very happy. Hi, hi. How are you, Annalise? I'm doing good. My brain's a little bit fried, and I'm not doing too great in Mahjong so far, but I am the dealer, so this is my chance to try to make that back. Question is, if I don't pick up, like if I pick up a 2 or 5 Mon or a 3 or 6 pin, which of these two groups do I drop? And I think, well, yeah, I think the answer would be dropping this 1 and 2 group. 1-7's out, 1-3's out, so those have the same chances. These two, though, have been dropping other late So tiles. Oh, that's, actually, no, that's fine. I got that 2-3-4. I forgot that's what I replaced it with. I was talking about getting rid of the 1 and 3, or the 1 and 2, not the, God, my brain is so fucking fried. My brain is so fucking fried, y'all. I was talking about getting rid of that 1 and 2, and that's what tripped me up. That 9 doesn't look bad. I'd like to keep it for some safety, though the 6 is actually, or the 9 here is also going to be very, very safe as well, especially since this player's dropped a 6. So I do have Pinfu set up. So I'll have Reach, Pinfu, Dora. How do I feel about this 7-pin here? This is Mahjong Soul. Just a nice little anime-style Mahjong client. If you don't know how to play Mahjong, the main thing that you're trying to do is try to get 4 groups of 3, which can either be triplets, like if I had another 5 here, that would be a triplet, or sequences, like the 7, 8, 9. So you need 4 of those, and you also need a pair, so like this 5 here. I can call Richie here, which is just big sign saying, hey, I'm ready to win. So I did that because you also need a special condition with every hand, and that is a special condition that can add more points to my hand. Unfortunately, I think calling Ricci was a bad idea when there were 9 tiles left, because now opponents are playing very safe and would be very unlikely to actually deal into my hand. However, I'll still get points just for being in Tenpai, so I am happy with that. Not too much lately. Mostly it's just Mahjong. I mean, also, like, play a little bit of older Monster Hunter games. Not that I've streamed anything other than Mahjong on Twitch, so I don't know what else I'm going to be doing here, if anything. I also got to think on this hand real quick. Yeah, I think I like just dropping one of these. But yeah, no, it's basically just Mahjong that I play, honestly, nowadays. Started reading some visual novels lately, too. So there's that, though not the most entertaining thing to probably watch on Twitch. What kind of stories games? I think for this hand, it's probably just going to be White Dragon only. That's not going to be too fantastic. Well, okay, well now we can talk about the Sanshoku, the mixed triple sequence here with the 1, 2, 3s. I wanted to drop that 4 earlier, that way they can hopefully think that the 3 might be safe to drop. Horror is a genre that I have barely touched until somewhat recently. As a kid, as a teen, even up until like my 20s, I was like always like, oh, this is gonna be too scary for me. And now anytime I watch anything horror, it's just I laugh and it's always so funny. It's very rare I find anything actually scary. See. Definitely drop that, just keep my safety tile for now. I just gotta worry about not dealing into other people's hands. Like, this player could have a half flush of pin tiles. Which is why I was a little hesitant on this, but it's either now or later. Just on art design in general? I'm not quite sure what you're asking. Because, I mean, I guess art design in general, good, but that's a very nothing statement, to be honest. I mean, it just depends on, like, what all's... It depends on how it's done. I wish this player dropped that 3. I would have loved to have called it. There we go. They did drop that 3. Thank you. So it's just a small 2-han hand here. I'm not actually expecting anyone to drop the 3 with so few tiles remaining. But I should get points just for being in Tenpai, and if nothing else, I'll get to stay the dealer again. Unless that happens. Oh, I had to open my mouth. Alright. I don't get to be dealer again this game. I'll just have to catch up the old-fashioned way. Oh, nice! Hell yeah! it's always nice to be able to sort of flex your creative muscles. It's another thing that I just never really did too much of until somewhat recently. So always, always, always good to have more artists. I'm seeing the makings for Pinfu with this hand, especially if I could pick up a 6-0 now. That 7's a pretty good drop. 6-0 would be fantastic, a 6-pin would be great, something around here would be nice. That's not quite what I'm looking for, but that's also not too bad. It technically progresses my hand. I'm not going to keep it though. I'm not going to worry about that. Because I don't want that 1 and 2 group to share this 3 that this other 4 and 5 group would have. I think these are much more likely going to just be my pair. I think holding on to that 2 is going to be dangerous for later. No, I think I'm good. I'm unfortunately very broke. I am unemployed and I am not on disability or anything, so I have 0 income to spend. Let's see. Okay, that's fantastic, because that's Ricci, Pinfu, Dora 2. I think I just gotta call Ricci here, because, like, this player can't defend. They've already called Ricci, they're unable to change their hand. They've already dropped a 6. They're easily gonna drop another if they pick it up, like... Oh, but I don't get that chance. Okay. I was so happy with that hand too. That one hurt. The rest of my hands have just been like a series of disappointments. That one actually hurt. I don't really like this hand. It's most likely to end up as a Cheetoy. 7 pairs. Could be all triplets as well. But either way, it's not going to be too valuable. That helps though. I'm making an executive decision saying we are not going to be doing the Cheetoy here. I'm going to hope for possibly Pinfu. What I would really love... Ooh, hang on, because that might change things. I'm going to drop one of these 9s. I might drop the second one as well. We'll see. If I could pick up a 5-so or an 8-pin, I'd be very happy. That's also very interesting. That makes that a 2-4-6 shape. I think I would rather that than just the 7-9. I say that might have been a mistake, but only slightly. This still seems fine. Six to build off of versus 7. I'll get rid of the 7 because that one races Furry 10. I don't like them progressing their hand at this point. South 3, I really gotta be the one to finish mine. 4, 5. I just gotta drop that. I got too much else going on in this hand. I don't gotta worry about building off of something else like this. If I could pick up a 5-so, I'd be very, very happy again. Come on, game. trying to manifest getting the last 5. Or a 3-so. 3-so works just as well. Oh. There goes the last 5. Y'all, I gotta say it. I don't think we're catching up. But I'm not gonna stop trying. I'm gonna hope. I'm not gonna stop trying. I'm not gonna stop trying here. I've gotta go for the big hand. If I can get a... Actually, hang on. Yeah, so a direct Mongon off of the Toyman here would be enough to at least get me out of last. So that might end up being my goal. If I end up having the opportunity to go for, like, you know, all terminals and honors instead of the big silly fuck off hand. But yeah, I should drop this instead of the 4-5 because this is Dora, but we'll see. Even that was a mistake because I could have picked up a red 5, but that's okay. Again, I'm mostly worried about trying to go for 13 orphans here. Because I don't really have much other recourse. G-Toy, really, I think at this point, has to be what I settle on. Yeah, I think it has to be what I settle on. So I'm dropping this because I'm sure somebody else has those, and I don't want to hold on to that for later. And sorry, Annalise, I'm, you know, I don't know you from Adam, so I am not too interested in the portfolio right now, but I do wish you good luck with that. I mean, you say that, Mogi. It's also been... Well, I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe I don't know Twitch. The way it's been interacting? I don't know. I don't know. It's been responding. Yeah, that game went bad. Oh, 07. All right, one more. One more. We'll see if I can get a better start here. The thing I struggle with the most in Mahjong is once I fall behind it all, it is so easy for me to just make mistake after mistake after mistake trying to push. And I fell behind very early there. Now, unfortunately, usually that bad play follows me into the next game. But I want to try to put a stop to that. So I can get East and Adora. That's not bad. I also have a cat here coming up onto my chair. Hello, Bean. Say hello to everyone. I almost said say goodbye to everyone. Don't say that. I'll take that. I'll go for the small 2-Han here. Yeah. I hope my webcam's placed high enough for you to even see Bean. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I guess you can. Five, that's not bad. At this point, I would think that the 8 so would be a little bit safer, only just because of this player, really. And so I would like to drop the 8 Mon early. I mean, I would love to go for a 3-4-5 Sanshoku. I am a Sanshoku sicko. Unfortunately, I would need a pair somewhere, which would mean it would have to be in this group. And this group's already finished, so obviously I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just going to go for the quick 3-Han hand. Or I'm going to get nothing. Yes, 2 and 3. This hand's not bad. It also doesn't inspire me with a lot of confidence. I definitely like dropping these 9s. That could end up as a 1-2-3 Sanshoku if I get very lucky. But then I'd also have to get rid of another group. Because like I'd have this 3 and 4, this 5 and 6. But we might have to think about it. I might drop this 4 eventually for that. Should drop this 9 instead of the south, but that's okay. It'll go next almost definitely. Oh, you hate to see it. But that's Mahjong. Make a mistake and it will punish you for it. Alright. Well. I am thinking a lot more on that 1-2-3 Sanshoku. How do I want to fit that in here? Because I don't really want to drop this red 5. I really don't. I would love to pick up a 4 so if I want to go for that, or a 5 pin. Either of those would be very similar, or just another 3 so. Alright. Well, it looks like if I go for it, I'm likely to be dropping the red 5. This could also just be Pinfu and 2 Dora if I pick up something around here, or another 6. That could help for being a pair. Could help for being a pair. I'm likely giving up on the Sanshoku. Unless I draw 1 pin. In which case, even then, I think I pretty much, at this point, now that I've dropped that 6, I have to be done with it. I just had to make that decision. Which means this 1 and 2 are gonna have to go. Nope. Alright, yeah. Sanshoku's dead. Turning off calls, going Pinfu. I guess no. I was gonna say I could maybe keep calls on in case 4 cell came up and I wanted to call 2-3-4 or not 2-3-4 Sanshoku. In case I just want to draw the 4 cell off of like this player. What I would love is a 3 or 6 though. That doesn't really... You know what, I'm going to drop that. I'm a bit worried about it dealing in. I'm glad it didn't. I wasn't super worried, but just a little bit. I don't expect this player to be able to go for another one. And at this point, I just kind of want to play safe. I'm also going to turn on calls again, just because 13 tiles left. I just want to hit Tempai. Whether I have a Yaku or not, that's secondary. Yeah, drop that 9 now. Hold on to this for safety. And now we... I was gonna say just wait until we can call tiles, but never mind. Oh, I would love to call that. Oh well. Nice, Hanuman. Congrats. Triplet of 7s, that's nice. Paradora, that's nice. I got a lot of groups and I already have to cut one of them, so I'm cutting this 1 and 3. It was either that or efficiency-wise, I would have said cutting this 8 would be better, but it's Dora. I can't cut that. Punished slightly immediately for choosing the group that I did. Just obviously goes... Maybe I could have held on to it for a second, because it's likely, usually, that it's going to end up as a safety. But it would have gone right there anyways, so... Didn't end up mattering. Now the best tile I could pick up, by far, would be an 8-so. I would love to pick up an 8-so. Gotta drop one of my Dora then. But I think I take it. It's just Riichi Dora, only 2 Han, but that's something. And now that I've dropped that 4, then that's Suji, they could drop the 7 if the game were still continuing. However, the Kamicha doesn't like that idea. This hand's looking pretty nice. I'd love to get an 8-pin. I'd love to get a 3-mon. I could find another tile to build around and then drop one of those 2 groups. I'm willing to hold on to that for just a sec. Though this 8-9 is now my worst group still, so it's going to be going, most likely. A 7, huh? I think I do trust that more than the 8-9 when I'm so far from Tempai. No. Not quite sure how I feel about that other 9. It's not likely to stay. But if I pick up a 3 or a 9-pin, of course, then I would be able to have Riichi only. Woohoo. I'm going to drop this now. Keep the Ipeiko chance here. There is a shot that I could go for Chinitsu, but that would have been very silly, I think. And obviously was not in the cards for me there. All right. The pair of 8s, that's fantastic. Two, 4, 6. It could be 2, 3, 4 Sanshoku. That would probably mean dropping this 5, which is worth the same value as open Sanshoku, just by itself, so that's not too likely to happen. But it is a possibility. It would be Tanyao. You know what? I'm not gonna think about that. I'm keeping these as a pair. I need that extra value. Not even worried about the fact that I'm dealer. Yeah. So this is likely just going to be Tanyao only, plus of course 3 Dora. Possibly 4 Dora, if I get another 8 Mon. This could also end up as Chitoy. In which case this 2 Mon should be going. Yeah, absolutely. And now I'm pretty much locked into Chitoy, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna turn off calls. I was thinking about keeping that as a safety tile, but it hadn't been dropped yet, so like, it doesn't really fulfill that role of a safety tile. And it would ruin Tanyao, of course, would be the big reason why I was having to debate. 3. I don't really trust that when 2 of those are out and this player seems to be going for a Honitsu. I was thinking that because I had 2 2s, 2 4s, that it might be harder for my opponents to use a 3 and that they'd be more likely to drop one, but there's only 1 left and this player's going Honitsu. I don't trust that. I would love one of these other tiles to show up. One of these 3. Alright, there we go. I do believe in the 4 Mon. Oh, hang on. Alright. Sorry about that. The 8 so I definitely trust in the 4 Mon more. Do I trust enough to call Richi? Chitoy 3 Dora is just a Mongon. This brings it to Ohane. I'm reaching. 12 tiles left though. It's going to be a little bit hard to get what I need, but this player is obviously pushing. They're going to be very willing to drop a 4 if they draw one. And these players definitely could as well if they push. Come on. Come on. That's not what I needed. Yeah. Oh well. I'm still dealer. I will gladly take my 1500 points. That's not bad. That's not bad. I'm gonna keep these for the Pinfu possibility. Alright. I'm immediately looking at dropping that. I would love to draw a 7 Mon. That would be fantastic just for speed. For value, though, if I get something around the red 5, if I get a 4-so, if I get a 6-so, I'd be very happy with those as well. I almost misclicked that and just called it. That would have ruined everything. Alright, I'm willing to drop these. It might not be Pinfu, but my opponents would likely think that a West Wind would be safe enough to drop. I feel like the 9's going to be safer to hold on to, or the 9 mon is going to be safer to hold on to than 9 pin. And there goes my dealership. Okay. Good news is, I'll still get one more shot at being dealer. Going for the Chanta, huh? It's a terrible hand. I mean, they made it work, but it's always terrible trying to go for Chanta. I do see the makings of a 2-3-4 Sanshoku here. Would mean that I want to find something else around this 5-6. Could also be a 1-2-3 Sanshoku. Or, you know, I can draw that and that helps a ton. 2-3-4 Sanshoku, Tanyao. It's only 2 Han if I have to open up. I would love to be able to keep my hand closed. Obviously that doesn't help with the Sanshoku, but it does move me a little closer for Pinfu. I could have a 3-so and just drop this. I think I'd be happy enough with taking that. This is maybe a little bit of a reckless play, but I want to try to find a pair elsewhere. I want the value. Doesn't really help me. Doesn't help me with what I'm... And obviously it does move my hand closer to completion, but it's just not what I wanted to see. I would have really wanted the 4 there. It is Riichi Pinfu. Waiting on a 3 or 6. I'm holding off for a turn. Maybe 2 turns, but I don't want to reach you just yet. I would have had 1-2-3 Sanshoku had I waited. Or well, had I kept this and tried to go for that, but 2-3-4 just seemed much more likely. Alright. I'll reach you next turn. I can't wait around much longer trying to just increase the value. So waiting on 3-so, 6-so. Opponents have half Suji for the 6-so. It's not saying much. These two, again, half Suji, they've dropped 9s. These two have dropped 7s, which are close by to it, so maybe they could drop a 6. But really, I'm looking more at just drawing it myself here, I think. All right. Starting the south rounds. And this hand, again, does not fill me with too much confidence here. That helps. That does help. It's not amazing still. I'd love a 3-pin. That would really help. But, like... Eight's pretty okay. It's something. That group's fine. My one group that I don't hate. I could look at making this a Honitsu. I don't really like that possibility. Dropping this red instead of keeping it for safety. 2 of them are already out. I'll be doing the same here with the whites. These easts are going to be good enough as safety tiles if I need to fold. Yeah, no Honitsu. Absolutely no Honitsu here. The best thing that I could see this becoming, and this has already changed since I started this sentence now that I've picked up that other green, the best thing I could have seen this going is a pure straight here. But now that I've picked up that, I just don't see myself doing that. I think it's just going to be green dragon only. Reachy as well, I would hope. I would love to draw a 3-pin. I don't see much other possibility for value in this hand. Oh, that's not great. I'm dropping this 5. It looks very safe to me. This player's dropped only middle tiles, starting with 1 right next to the 5. I trust the 9 a little bit more than the West. This reads to me like it could be maybe a Chitoi situation. And obviously Chanta, 13 Orphans, these are possible options too. Oh, I guess, oh, hang on, is 13 Orphans? I guess that is still technically possible, huh? Alright, there's the 3. I can call on this. I'll reach and hope they drop that Easter green. It's not a big hand, but it is a hand. Surely one of them is going to drop one of these. Maybe not, because this player, again, seems to be going... I should have considered that. But that's fine, because then this player is much more likely to drop my winning tile as well. Honors are not easy for us to both be waiting on the same tile, you know? Ooh, 6 tiles left. There we go. Okay. I finally win a hand today. I finally won one. I might have won another earlier and I don't remember it. But I finally won one for sure. Let's see. Not fantastic. Not fantastic at all. I could call tiles, have just green again. I'm gonna drop this 1 and 2. I should have just dropped the 1, so really. I wasn't thinking about that. I honestly thought this was an honor. I just was not paying any attention to it in my head. Like, I wasn't visually paying any attention to it. So I should have dropped that before the 1 and 2 mon, but the 1 and 2 mon are going now as well. I was doing that to possibly go for Honey 2, because I have 4 groups. These 2 I can probably call on. This group I can probably call on if I need, which I don't necessarily need. This group as well, now fantastic. I would just need a pair somewhere. If I pick up another East, I'm happy. Even that too, that's fantastic because I got a pair of 4s here. I could just get a 1 or another 4. And then that's Honey 2. Or Honey 2. It would only be a small 2 or 3 Han hand. Open, anyway. Worth much more if I can keep this hand closed. And I'm being very obvious with it. My discards are... they're telling a story. Let's see, 3 reds, 2 easts out. I can keep the red for safety if I really wanted to play it safe, but I'd rather just hold on to the east in case I pick up a pair. The west, even though I've already dropped one earlier, it's going to be more likely to help me than the red right now. So get that tune out. This 4 is also likely to go at some point. I say that. I'm not going to call that right yet. Because I've already dropped a west, I'm going to do that. And then I'll leave this east for a second. I'm trying to just call Richi here. It'll be Richi, Honitsu, Dragon, and if I hit Uridor, then that's a Hane. That's a little bit of a dangerous tile, but I don't think either of these players are in Tenpai yet. Alright. Oh, and I obviously have Ipeco as well, so that would be the Hane anyway, even without the, Oh, but the question is, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Han as is for a Mongon. Reach would make that 6, but then I'd have to draw the 3-pin myself. Mostly because I don't see anyone else dealing into that. But I want the Hanemon. I really want the Hanemon. Maybe it could have been worth holding off in case I picked up like a 5-pin or something. Yeah. Yeah. So worth not calling Richi here, but worth... yeah, and then I would have drawn that. That would have increased my weight a lot. It also wouldn't have been Ipeco, though. I would have had to rely on Uridora. Three tiles remaining. Basically nothing left. You know, there's the shot of Haite. There is no longer the shot of the Haite. Alright, I accept this hand. This hand is perfectly fine. This hand I have no issues with. This one, so almost certainly gonna go. Easy Tanyao. It doesn't really benefit me. Even if I pick up a 3, like, I can just get a 7 in here. Well, it's. I say that. That's actually not great thinking. But now this absolutely goes. Don't need the 3-pin. Ishan's hand. If I get the 7-so, I'd have a nice two-sided weight here on the 5-8 mon. I'd be very, very happy with that. Yeah, there we go. There's that. And I will 100% reach this one. Oh. I've been calling Ricci a lot more today. Or just a lot more in general, but like, especially today, I think every closed hand I've gone Ricci with. You definitely win a lot less when you call Ricci, but this is very, very early, so I have plenty of time to draw this tile myself. And with a nice two-sided weight like this, you gotta go for it. I'd say on a Realman shape like this, you almost always just want a Ricci. Probably. I can feel the 5 or 8 coming. It might be hard for the Toyman to drop it for me, because they're very obviously going for a flush of Mon tiles. Also they were not going for a flush of Mon tiles. Not that that matters at this point, I just wanted to win, but god damn it. Ugh. Alright, I'll last, and I'm 6,000 points behind. How do I make that up with this? It's gotta be a closed hand, basically. Because if I just call in souths, then that's only a one-hand hand, that's nothing. I have to consider if I pick up an 8-so. That's pretty nice too, actually. There is a shot here of a Honetsu. I'd have to get rid of this full group though. I gotta do something for value. It's all last. I'm 6,000 points behind. What I have isn't gonna cut it. That 2 is interesting. It could help with a 4. I'm gonna do it. Is it likely to win? Oh, absolutely not. Especially now that all the 8s are out. That's rough. Do I have any other recourse? I have one recourse. One way to fix this. I have to draw a south myself. I have to... That helps. I have to Ricci. I have to either win off this player and hit Herradora, or I have to Tsumo. If I hit anyone else, then I am just going to end up in Furry Town. I'm going to ignore the win. I'm going to ignore the win. I'm doing everything I possibly can to get out of last place. And all that's left, there's only a single south wind remaining. Which honestly tells me I probably should have just called that. I didn't actually realize that both these other 9s were out. I really should have paid attention to that. However, I am dumb. Hi, I'm dumb. That's it. That was the last south. So, that did not work. I can't. What you doing, Bean? Yeah, my other hope would have been for one of these two to have won a bigger hand off the Toyman, which they just did not do. Hey Bean, I'm gonna lift you up a little bit. Yeah, that way you can be on cat cam. Yeah. Look at you, Bean. Oh, such a good cat. I'm gonna set you down. There you go. Good girl. I gotta think here. My brain's not in it for 4-player today. I don't have... I was debating doing a 3-player game. I don't think I have time for that before dinner. So, I knew it was going to be a short stream anyway. I think that's going to be it for me. But, thanks for hanging out. I'll probably try to stream next Wednesday. Probably. Like 2 or 3 Eastern. Let's say 3. 3 Eastern next Wednesday. But thanks for hanging out. I'll see you all then.